don't need Site 41 or any other landfill sites.
And create jobs.
Can you put that as a short question so I can get somebody's answer?
Councillors
And if it's to the
Mr. McCullough,
councillors, if it's to the councillors, they can't answer it.
they may not be able to answer it, but they're the ones with the power that can make change.
In which case,
They should hire and fire Mr. Aiken or whatever his name is, Mr. McCullough, Mr. whoever. The councillors are the people who represent us and who can help to educate us and change the way things are done. So whether it's Mr. McCullough or the councillors, can we, instead of putting our energy and our money into more landfill that we probably don't need, put our energy and our money into reducing the waste so that we don't need more landfill?
Yeah.
You want me to ask Bob to talk to you about the efforts that are being made? Okay.
No, we're looking for a complete change of thinking in the future.
In that case, that may not be a question to ask the engineers, is it?
No, it's the councillors who have the vision.
So, can I move on to somebody else without offending you?
No.
Thank you. Please.
Hi, my name is Bianca Lagosaljak. I'm a local resident. My question is to Mr. McCullough. At the Barrie Courthouse, you expressed your confidence in the calibrated model. My question is, since we have not seen the actual model, now that the construction is on its way, the theoretical justification for Site 41 is clearly in conflict with the practical results. The local wells are affected, the water is already contaminated, as we have witnessed even this morning. My question is, are you asking us to continue to believe the hypothesis and ignore the reality, the fact that the water is already polluted and silty, although the construction has not even been completed?
I understand your question. I guess there's a few in there. I would first ask anyone that has concerns about their water being cloudy. We've authorized our consultants to come out and have a look and have a look at that. I know they've already tried to contact some of the people that have that concern. I'm not sure that they've been able to reach them, but we would be happy to come out and have a look. Now, when we're talking about silty water, it's difficult for us to understand at this point how the actions we're undertaking at the landfill site would have an impact. But what I'm saying is we would be happy to have our consultants come and look at that if anyone wants us to, right? If you're having silty problems, you're located proximate to Site 41, we will have our experts come and have a look. Because our own actions are not resulting in cloudy water at our own dewatering site. It's difficult for us to understand how that would have further effects off-site because the amount that we're dewatering at right now is very limited to who we would potentially have any impact on off-site. And we do monitor the wells of those closest residents too. We're not seeing that cloudiness.
Oh, I thought we just saw it this morning in the bottle.
I'm not certain where that came from. I don't know if the ministry has more knowledge on that, if they've been contacted by those people, but we have got the address and the contact number for someone who reported that, and our consultants have tried to contact them and haven't been reached back yet. So I would say we'd be happy to.
Nobody's ever called me back.
I will take that information.
I reported it 2 Sundays ago, the day they found it. I phoned the Minister of the Environment line.
Okay, the ministry's here, so maybe they can speak to that.
Maybe we can ask them that question.
The ministry did receive calls from residents about silty wells at a couple of locations around Site 41. One was the Parnell Farm to the south, where the campsite is for First Nations people and local opponents. The senior environmental officer sampled that well on Wednesday and again on Thursday. The first results back from the laboratory show no exceedances of any of the Ontario Drinking Water Quality Standards, and the turbidity level was, in the Wednesday samples, was less than 1. And turbidity, you need to understand, under the Ontario Drinking Water Quality Standards, is an aesthetic parameter. Turbidity is the cloudiness that you see in water from silt or sand that can come up from a well naturally. as groundwater moves through and there's smoking around the well screen and so on. And other coloration, we see a complaint from a resident about 3 or 4 kilometers away about red coloring as well. Ministry staff are going to be following up with individuals who would fall within the influence of Simcoe, as Rod indicated. But for other residents who have concerns about their well, they can contact the Barrie District Office, or they can call our 24-hour emergency response line, which is on some of our publications and on our website. And a provincial officer will follow up with that individual. But what we need to have residents call is we don't want to have residents call about, well, my neighbor told me that their neighbor's well went cloudy. We need the individual well owner to contact the ministry to provide us with the relevant details and not really third-party information. It's very difficult for a provincial officer to act on because we don't have enough detail to make the proper decisions in response to respective incidents. So if you do have concern about your well and there's some impact or something changing in the quantity or quality of the water that's in your well, phone the district office or after hours or weekends call the 24-hour Spills Action Center. We have on-call staff, and I'm also on call, so is Cindy, about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to assist our senior environmental staff in responding to environmental incidents.
I've been asked, let me ask this. Is there anybody here who intends, I know the councillors do, to go to the county council meeting? Could I see a show of hands here? Okay, the parking lot over there is full. So I've been asked to say that the OPP will make sure that you can cross the highway safely if you choose to walk there. Question?
Thank you very much. My name is Miracle Saljak. I live at Woodland Beach. I'm halfway between equal distance in terms of kilometers between the Posey dump and Site 41. The Posey dump, I first became aware of it 30 years ago. Our family first started to come to the area. I was amazed to find National Geographic, and that's not a scientific paper, but I kind of trust some of the things that they have in there. Now, I'm going to preface my question with this point. I saw National Geographic the hotspots of the world in terms of contaminated sites. Simcoe County was one of the few sites that was in that list of hotspots, and specifically it was the Posey dump site. 15 years ago, I was told the plume was moving towards Ososoli and Woodland Beach. I'm told now it's moving south towards Elmvale. There's a lot of uncertainty as to what is happening underground. The question that I have to Mr. McCullough and staff, are you comfortable that you know the full extent of where the contaminants are underneath the ground that we walk on, the dump sites that are in the county? Are you comfortable that you know the full extent, how much is leaching, where it's moving, and on that, why are we putting another dump site that would just compound the problem that we already have here in Simcoe County?
You had a number of questions, so please correct me if I missed some in my answering. First thing I want to point out is the Posey site is not a county landfill site, it's a private site, and it's one of those historical old sites like that we took over.
But it is in Simcoe County,
Absolutely.
and it's compounding the problems that we have underground.
Absolutely.
It's not, you know the extent of that.
And I don't know the extent of Posey, I'm not the regulator, perhaps Chris would be better to speak to that. But what I would like to speak to is your other point, and I absolutely understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you. The old ways that landfills were operated, without engineered, without any idea where they placed them, caused some off-site impacts that today we wouldn't. Site 41, yes, we know very much about the hydrogeologic setting. We know a lot about the stratigraphy in the area. We know that location can be developed to be a safe landfill site, and that's what we're doing because there's been a lot learned over the years. The Ministry of the Environment came in as a regulator when basically those sites like Posey were already up and operating, right? Those sites didn't go through the sort of approval process, the location exercise that a site like Site 41 did to be protected. And the Posey site's developed in a very different area. It's Downward gradients, it's built on sand.